This is why your British accent doesn't sound natural. Have you ever heard of a thing called the trap bath split? Here's the test. Say this. Did you say this like an ah or an ah? So in northern pronunciation of these words, this sound sounds like ah, castle, last, bath, laugh. Whereas southern accents pronounce it like ah, castle, last, bath, laugh. This is called the trap bath split because in southern accents you can hear that split in pronunciation. Trap, bath. But in northern pronunciation, there's no difference. Trap, bath. Same ah sound in both words. This is the first thing we notice when someone starts speaking to us. It's like, oh, you're northern, cool. Or,
you southern twat.
and it's really obvious when an actor does a bad British accent. So when we say northern here, really specifically we're talking about this region. This includes Scouse, Manchester, Yorkshire, Geordie, that's Newcastle, and Brummie, that's Birmingham. And when I say southern, really I'm talking about RP, Cockney, all the London styles. So if you say this word, like bath, people are like, oh, okay, you grew up in the south. Of course, there are other factors which influence an accent, but this is pretty universally understood by British people. However, be very careful not to change the ah sound in every word that has an ah in it. That would sound marred. See, that was really funny because the word mad is always pronounced mad. It's always funnier when you have to explain the joke. But yeah, not every ah sound depends on regional pronunciation. So words like mad, have, maths, they always have the ah sound. But which other words? There's not really a rule to that. You'll just know the difference with time, practice, and exposure. Okay, next is the foot strut split. Also, I've heard this called the cut-put split. Doesn't matter, it's the same sound. And in this split, words like book and buck sound different in southern pronunciation, but in northern pronunciation, it would sound the same. Book, book. And okay, again, I'm saying northern, but this time it's not even all of the north. It's very specifically this area. So you've got to keep this in mind. Because when you mix characteristics from different regional accents, it makes us go, huh? Did you move around a lot when you grew up? Why is your accent weird? So, in the south, we pronounce these words with an sound. But in that region, we'll call it northern because I'm lazy, there's no real difference in pronunciation with that sound and the one from book. One, nut, not, love, love, up, come. Would you like to come up for a nut, love? Okay, we don't use dollars in the United Kingdom, but if we did, a conversation in the South might sound like this. How much? 2 books for $2. Wow. But in northern pronunciation, it sounds like this. How much? 2 books for $2. Wow. So if you're playing around with pronunciation characteristics and you decide that a northern accent is right for you, that's great. Just stay consistent with the regional characteristics of the accent. Don't mix them up because then it sounds really, really weird and really obvious that you're just shit at the accent. There are, of course, tons of other differences, like the way they pronounce words in the Scouse accent, but that'll have to wait for a future video. But if you want to increase your exposure to different regional accents, I'm going to recommend these movies and shows. You can also find a list of these in my ebook. You know where to get it. Okie dokie, practice time. With all of that in mind and everything from previous lessons, I want you to say these 3 sentences. Again, it doesn't matter if you choose a northern accent or a southern accent, just stay consistent. This is the most important aspect, especially if you're an actor trying to do a British accent. So commonly, I'll hear someone trying to do a Cockney accent and then they'll say something like, I went down a pub last week. No, you didn't. But knowing this will help you sound much more natural with your accent, and also gives it some character and some history, some geography. This is really important when you're developing your British accent because this tiny difference in pronunciation lets everyone know where you grew up. Sometimes. Of course, it also depends on other influences. And practice this until you feel confident and natural. Then you'll be ready to move on to the next lesson. If you haven't already, get my free ebook. You get a full pronunciation course. It's free, it's fun. You know where to get it. And I'll see you in the next class.